And we're back. I'm so excited to film my TBR game, Bookladders and Bookworms. It's still not completely finished colouring in, but we're going to have fun. Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome everyone, I'm Chatty, this is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting very madly about my February TBR whilst playing my book game. I have had a break from it for a few months, just getting over the crazy, having a chilled out month in January, and I'm so excited to be doing a TBR again. I had a great time having no plan in January with my no plan Jan, but towards the end I was getting a little bit twitchy because I think I'd kind of gone the opposite way. It was like, if there was a book that was part of a plan, I was like, well, I can't read it because it's part of a plan, I'm not doing plans, rather than going, do I want to read that book? So I was getting a little bit too questiony. Every single time I picked up a book, I had to pick up 3 in one go and do a try a chapter to judge how I felt. So I'm so excited to be going back to a TBR and doing it in this game. It's the start of the year, there's no pressure to be doing specifically stuff, so I'm going to be full out playing the TBR game. I'm going to go into the rules of exactly what that is. I have timestamps so you can skip over bits if you already know, and I will then be playing the game. And explaining kind of what books I've already kind of got on my TBR and what are the ones I'm going to be playing for. I think that's basically what I'm doing today. Amazing. Okay, so let's do my gimmick. It is one shot. There is no editing, so I have my little tiny teacup. So cheers everyone. Clink, 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 clink. So let's talk through the game. If you have not been there before, hello, welcome to the TBR game. I presume you're here because you enjoy that sort of thing. I hope you like this one. If you are a long-time viewer or you've just watched a video recently and thought you'd want to see some more, thank you so much for popping back. If you need a refresher, stick around. If not, you can tootle on to where I explain what the 4 colour prompts are going to be for this month. So the TBR game, in fact, I probably need to be with the board, so let's move. The power of pause. Have to make sure I press the correct button and don't have several videos. Okay, so we have a square in the middle with 4 different colours on it. This is the starting point. I can choose which direction I go in. I roll the dice. It's just 1 dice for this first level. And then if I have a ladder, I go up the ladder and I can go on to the next level, or if I land on a worm, I can also go on to the next level, and the next level will it'll be a 2 dice one. There's no set end point to this, we just keep going depending how many rolls I do, and the book colours relate to what the prompt is going to be, and the ladders and worms also have prompts as well. So the ladders, which I call my lucky ladders, I have these lovely purple cards for, and these prompts are nice prompts. So they're quite vague, they're quite generous. It's kind of like encouraging me to do things that I would like to do or might want to do, such as like a recently acquired book and that kind of thing. So what I do is I pick out of this pile, I will be picking, I have my Feagle card, and I will pick 2 other cards from this pile, and they will make my 3 lucky ladders. And I will explain the Feagle. If you are a Terry Pratchett reader and you have read The Wee Free Men, you will know that a Feagle is a small blue Scottish fairy that likes drinking, fighting and stealing. When I buy books, they go into my secret stash, which live under my bed, and I have to earn them by doing healthy things. So I get to steal one rather than just being healthy if I land on a lucky ladder and draw out the Feagle card. On the opposite to that, we have my Worrying Worm cards. So if I land on a worm, it's not so good. So these are very specific, difficult to manage prompts. So this is like the nasty cards. So I have a variety of things here where it will be very specific, such as I have to read a book with a set number of words in the title, or a book where the title, not the author, the title starts with the specific letter. I then have my generic prompt cards, and these are kind of more basic. So it might be, I have to read a book which has, or the author, which starts, the title or the author start with the letter. So as long as there is that letter within there, so I've got more flexibility with the middle prompt cards. So the Worrying Worm ones, I will be picking again. I will be picking 2, and they will be going alongside the One Ring card. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. You have the power. So if I draw the One Ring card, the first person in my comments to say, so don't say it until I draw it, because poor Tiffany was the first person to say one ring to rule them all in the comments. And then I think it was like a good 6 months before she actually got to tell me which book she wanted me to read. So if I pull the card, the first person to comment one ring to rule them all has the power to give me a book to read. I'm going to say, please give me 3 or 4 books, because I don't want to be buying books. So if I can't access it from the library and don't have it on my shelves, I'm not going to be able to read that one. So if you give me like 3 or 4 options of a book you want me to read, and it can be anything, as long as I can access it, it can be anything. So there's that. I might not land on it. I mean, I'm kind of hoping I don't, because it's a bit scary giving someone all of that power. Okay. I then have that is essentially the game. I've got the Lucky Ladders, I've got the Worrying Worms, and then in a moment I'll be calling back all the people who have skipped ahead for this bit to tell you what the 4 colour prompts are. First of all, I do need some tea. And annoyingly, I didn't realise I'd already drunk it. So I can't be bothered to go and make any more. There's no time, I just want to get filming. I forgot how long this takes to set up, but it takes a long time to set up and organise. And it's a lot. So I'm just going to, apologies if I have a dry mouth. You don't really need to know any of that. The waffle has begun. Right, let's call everyone back. And I will talk through the colour prompts, which I did have beautifully aligned in the camera, but I've obviously screwed that up a bit. Let's sort that out. Okay, welcome back everyone who skipped ahead. The colour prompts for this month are bringing back the old favourite. If I land on a blue, it is the 30-second prompt. So I pick one of these prompt cards, and I have got 30 seconds to find a book that fits that prompt. If I cannot, that book, when I eventually do fill that card, that book goes in the pile, and I do it again. It has happened once, so I don't want to repeat that. What I'm really looking forward to is the TBR tin. So in here, I have 15 veteran books, 15 books that are the oldest on my TBR, and 15 new books, 15 books that I acquired last year. And I'm a seasonal reader, so I've made sure there is no seasonal obligation within them, so I can read them at any time. If I land on TBR tin, which is the pink colour, I will pick 4 bits of paper from the tin. So green ones are new and purple ones are veterans. So I'm going to pick 2 of each. And out of those, I'm going to decide which book to put on the Feburary TBR. And that is one of my 5 plans for 2025. So that is one of the plans that I'm going to be focusing on this month. Yellow, if I land on yellow, I have a theme card. So that's these ones here. So this is just to do with the vibe of the book. So what I get from the front cover, what I get from the title, the feel of the book. And it can be sort of like around like elements. It can be around sort of like it's a magical book, or it's a book that's got transport in it, like that kind of thing. Dice Decide is a new one, but not really. It's just a way of helping me choose a book. Basically, I roll a dice and I'm going to pick out 6 books, assign them each a number, roll a dice, decide which one of those books I'm going to pick. Because I'm really feeling that I want things to be chosen for me a bit more. like the opposite of the no plan. I want to go back to the safety of this is what we're reading, but still with a certain flexibility of I get to choose the books in that pool. I have these little boxes next to each one to track if I land on the same colour twice. I don't have them for Worrying Worm and Lucky Ladder, but it's not going to be that difficult for me to track. If I land... No, we're including Lucky Ladder and Worrying Worm. If I land on Lucky Ladders and Worrying Worms, or no, let's include the colour of the Lucky Ladder or the Worrying Worm. Okay, cool, great. I'm glad I've sorted that out. Sorry, you had to hear my thought process. So if I land, so I will be ticking it. If I land on the same colour twice, then I also have to do a We're All Mad Here. So instead of, if it's been a Lucky Ladder or a Worrying Worm and it's the same colour as one I've already done, I will do one of these prompts. I'm making this really complicated. It worked in my head. Okay, it's an extra prompt. Yes, it's an extra prompt. Sorry, I should have been more planned. Basically, I'm trying to work out, like, I want to make sure that I do a range of these ones as well. Right, okay, it's going to be, I do that prompt and, so it's like an extra roll, I suppose, and I do a Wonderland card. So this is the Wonderland card, also known as a We're All Mad Here card. So it gives an extra edge of madness to the game, in that I have to play a mini game within this game, and there's stakes in that. I deliberately put in the mix a book I don't want to read right now and don't want to get, and a book I'm really excited to read right now and would love to get. So there's quite high stakes in it. So the card I have for We're All Mad Here is only a pack of cards, and I'm not going to explain what well, essentially it is I'm playing pairs with 16 cards. I'm going to play pairs with 16 cards, and I'm going to have 4 goes to find a pair within that. If I find a pair, I get the book I want. If I don't find a pair, I have to read the book I don't want. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything. Can I balance this on the shelf without it falling off? Yes, I can. Hooray. So I am going to be doing 4 rolls for this game because I on average read 8 books a month. I already have 2 books that I'm using these books as placeholders for. So one kind of like thicker book, one medium-sized book. And these are for my Can I Read Romance project that I'm doing. So it's going to be 3 videos, and this is the first one that I'm doing in February. So I've got those to read. I also have a buddy read, which is the 5th book in the Pages and Co series by Anna James, which is the Treehouse Library. I will be doing this on my Discord, which is Middle Grade Mad Chat. If you're interested in joining middle grade books, go and have a look in the description box, and there is the link to that Discord. It is mainly middle grade focused because I couldn't find a Discord that was middle grade focused, but there is space to talk about other books and things as well. But if you enjoy middle grade, come and chat, it'll be fun. So I'm going to be buddy read this with Stacy. We have been enjoying reading the Pages and Co series. Kelli from Kelli Reads a Lot may join in as well if it kind of like fits in with what she's reading and get it out the library. This has been really fun. I have a mixture of ones I've enjoyed to ones I've that have been fine. I do enjoy the whimsy of these books. The plotting sometimes makes me question it, in that I think it's because I really love adult fantasy where the plots kind of all match together. So sometimes like I want a little bit more closure at the end of the book rather than the adventure finishing and the kids going home for tea. I'm like, but wait, wider world politics, what's happening here? I need the fallout. So the plot finishes satisfactorily, but in terms of like the wider world, like what the consequences are of everything, we don't really get a huge amount kind of like of the nitty gritty in that, which is the bit that I as an adult would love more of. But the whimsy is wonderful. It's a lot of fun. There's lots of kind of book characters, and it's just really joyful. And it's gone a lot more into more of a fantastical element in its own right, which is, I'm really looking forward to continuing the series. I'm very excited about it. I am then taking part in the Reading the Globe YA and Middle Grade 2025, which is reading translated fiction. So this has been organised by Katja from Page Turners with Katja, and her co-host is Jack from Spread Book Joy. And the book they are reading this month is The Forgotten Book by Michael Glaser, which is translated from German by Roni Fusland. And they are going to be doing a live this month in February, so I'm very excited to read that. I think the premise of this book sounds really, really fun. It's got a Jane Austen vibe. There's some like book magic, and it just sounds quite delightful. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it kind of fits into the YA rather than the middle grade. And I haven't got it yet, otherwise I would hold it up and show you, but it is on its way to me, because I had to get it from World of Books. So it is one of those books that I did have to buy because I wanted to join in this project. So I'm not beating myself up about it. I generally thought I could get it out of the library, but I can't. It's not there, which is annoying. So The Forgotten Book I am reading. If you want to join in with that, the link for Katja's announcement video is in the description. So you can go and have a look at all of that good stuff. The final book on my TBR before I start playing the game is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I am rereading The Realm of the Elderlings. It is my favourite fantasy series of all times. It is my favourite book series of all times. And within the series, it has my favourite book of all time. And I'm someone that really struggles to pin down a favourite. So that's how much I love this series. I'm very excited to do this reread. I have not read Assassin's Apprentice since 2022. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see Fitz again. I'm really hyped for reading the series. So this book is on there. So that means my TBR before I've even, wandering off the screen there. My TBR before I've even started the game. Oh, I need another placeholder. You will do. No, you're a bit thick. Maybe you. It'll do. My TBR before I've even started the game is this. So there is 5 books already on the TBR. Hence why we're only doing 4 rolls. Okay, that is the waffle done. Let's play the game. Okay, I'm going to start with the blue dice. So we have a 3 for the starting roll. Okay, I'm going to go clockwise because it's just easier for me. So I can either get a green, a blue, another green, or a yellow. And I'm just going to go, I can't remember what they all are. So I'm just going to go for green because it came up twice. So there we go. And green is Dice Decides. So I now need to think of 6 books to put in this mix. But the thing with Dice Decides, getting it so early on, is if I don't get, if I just, whichever book I get, the other 5 I can't then put on my TBR. I forgot to say that earlier. But yeah, that's how this works. So I'll have to choose carefully. Okay. I have gathered 6 books. I have gone with books on the smallish side because I don't know what's going to be thrown up into the mix. And there are some books that I'm feeling that I do want to read this month that I don't want to then not be able to read. So these are all like, I'm excited to read them, but if I can't read them, it's fine. So first of all, kind of spoilers for what I read in January. I didn't read Frontier in January. I really want to read Frontier by Grace Curtis. It is a sci-fi, and I don't like knowing too much about my books before I go into them. I just saw the tagline, love, loss and laser guns, and I just thought I want to read that. That sounds a lot of fun. So I'm excited for Frontier. I also picked up, I got these last year and haven't read them. I've spent a whole year of just not picking them up and reading them. And that is the Kev F. Sutherland graphic novel retellings of some Shakespeare stories. So this one is the Midsummer Night Dream Team that reimagines a Midsummer Night's Dream as a sort of a heist situation and police investigation. So this seems like it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm putting that on the list. It's a graphic novel. I then have one that I really should have read and I'm really excited for because it's by one of my favourite authors. It's Nnedi Okorafor and it is a middle grade Ikenga. I just hadn't been in the right sort of mind frame because I know it's going to be a story that's going to make me feel a lot. And I wasn't at that point earlier when it was sort of coming up on my list, but I now feel very much at this point. So Ikenga. I then have Pet by Akwaeke Emeze. Same reasons as Ikenga. And that was actually in Tea and Taste. They were both in the Tea and Taste video together and I didn't pick them. But I do very much feel that I'm going to enjoy both of them. So Pet is a YA fantasy. So many people love this book. Everyone raves about the amazing writing of Akwaeke Emeze. I have not read anything they have written. And they have got such a wide variety of different things that they write about. But Pet is the only one that I think I'm probably going to enjoy. So I will see. I then have a book from my shelter box pile. So this is The Chronicles of a Cairo Bookseller by Nadia Wassef. It's got the word bookseller in it. It's quite a short one as these kind of books go. I think it sounds really interesting, so this could be a good option. And finally, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for a reread. Why not? So I have Monkshood by Ellis Peters. This is part of the Brother Cadfael series, and I have not read Brother Cadfael for years. And I feel like, actually, February, I could do with picking it up. There's a lot of herb lore. There's a murder mystery. It's a whodunit. It's set in the early Middle Ages during the civil war between Empress Maud and Stephen. So the country is kind of split between these two would-be monarchs. And Cadfael is a monk in a monastery, and he does a little bit of sleuthing. He's the herbalist, and it just has lots of... I just enjoy them. It's like a coming home comfort read book for me. Okay, so simplest. 1 is Frontier, all the way to number 6, which is Monkshood. Let's roll this dice. So here we go. I've got my tray. I'm just going to roll it on here because I don't want to be playing around with the camera again. And it fell off. So let's try again. Can I catch it on the tray? No, it's just going to fall off. Do you know what? You're just going to have to trust me. I'm just going to roll it on the floor. And it is number 2, which was, The Midsummer Night's Dream Team by Kev F. Sutherland. There we go. This is the first book going on the pile. It's a graphic novel. That's a nice, easy start for me. Plus, it's going to be ticking off a book from my physical TBR, which is what I want to be doing. But these books I now cannot read this month and they have to go back on the shelves. Still the 1 dice. And it is a 1. And because we're going clockwise, that means that is pink. And pink is the TBR tin. I'm very excited this came up. I really want to do the TBR tin. Okay, so 2 purples and 2 greens. So first one, I have a purple. I've gone for this one. So this is a veteran. And it is Galileo's Daughter. It's a non-fiction. It's hidden somewhere behind here. So I'm not going to get it off the shelf because I'm going to decide which one I want to go for. Because it's a non-fiction, it feels a bit daunting. And it's my first month back with the TBR, so I don't know if I'm quite ready for it yet. But we'll see. Let's put that one down. Okay, I'll pick a new one. I'm going to shuffle them up a little bit. I'm going to go for this one. And this one is The Girl with No Reflection. That is downstairs. That is a YA fantasy. It's very, very pretty. It was a fairy loot book. I don't know if it's YA or adult fantasy. Anyway, it's fantasy, kind of like, it feels quite more like a lyrical, whimsical fantasy. So there we go, that's those. Another purple is going to be this one here, which is... let's call it a Doomsday, which is a YA contemporary by I can't remember who it's by, but I didn't say who the other ones are by either, so it's fine. That's why a contemporary I've had on my list for a really, really long time, hence it being a veteran. Okay, and the final new one is this one here. And this is Patchwork. So Patchwork is a shelter box pick. Okay, so which ones do I feel like reading? I have them all here. And I could discuss it a bit more, but actually, as soon as Let's Call It a Doomsday out, I just feel like it's that book's time. That currently fits my mood right now. So I'm going to fold all the other ones up and put them back in. Let's Call It a Doomsday is, let me go and get the book for you. So this is by Katie Henry. It says, "Are you prepared? Let's call it a doomsday." So this is about a girl who suffers with anxiety, and she feels that the world's going to end, and she meets someone in the waiting room for therapy, and they both kind of like prepare together for this. I have had this, I just thought it sounded really fun. I can't remember who I saw it first from, but the way they were talking about it, it sounded like it had lots of like really important messages about mental health, but at the same time, it was a really kind of fun story. I really love YA books about social issues, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. It's been there for a while, but it never quite felt ready. But actually now, as soon as it came out, I was like, yes, I do feel in the mood for that. I do really want to read that. So there we go. My second book from the TBR tin, a veteran. Let's call it a doomsday. So we have two more rolls. I've already landed on green and pink. So if I could request either a blue, a 1, 2, 3, or 6, that would be marvellous. Let's see what we get. Rolling the dice. Whoop. Oh, it's rolled by itself and it's 1. Ha 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 ha. We have, that was a bit of a weird camera thing. I didn't pause and do it, but never mind. There we go. We have blue. It's a 1. That is the 30-second prompt. Okay, 30-second prompt. I have the timer ready to mark the 30 seconds. Prompt cards. I'm shuffling. Generally feel quite nervous. I was like, I have no idea what book I want to put on here. What's it going to fit? What's it going to be? Okay, right. I'm picking a card. I'm pressing... Oh no, I read it and then press start. Okay, cool. So I've got continue a series. Is it going? Is it? Oh, it's not doing anything. Okay, now it's working. Okay, continue a series. As soon as he said that, I already know what I'm doing. It's here, the Empire of Gold. So yes, I definitely did it. That was incredibly uneventful. Sorry, there was zero rushing around. There was zero crazy going on at all at that point. But there we go. I'm sorry. It is a series that I... Whoa, please. Okay, right, we're going to have to do some shelf organising here. Okay, great, stay. Marvellous, okay. It is the final book in the Daevabad trilogy. I love City of Brass. I love Kingdom of Copper. I'm very excited for the Empire of Gold. But I've been putting off reading it because I know when I pick it up, that's all I'm going to want to do. I'm just going to want to read the Empire of Gold. But it's time. Yes. I'm so excited. I just need my family to understand. Can I read my book, please, and do nothing else? I'm terrified for our characters in here. I love this world. I love the politics. I love all of the different races and the imaginings and all of the motivations and character journeys. It's so incredible. I'm so excited and also terrified at the same time. Yes. So yeah, this is my third choice, Empire of Gold. I have one more book to pick, I hope. Let's see what the dice gives me. So I want a yellow square because it's the only one I've not landed on. So I want to roll a 1 or a 5. Let's see what happens. Okay, rolling. It is a 5. That's hilarious. I did not actually think I would get that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For a minute I thought I'd counted wrong, and actually I didn't get it, but I have landed on yellow. So this means my final prompt, oh, terrible angling of the camera there. My final prompt is theme card, and there has been no worrying worms, no lucky ladders, and I've hit every colour. So there's been no Wonderland card. So it's actually been quite nice and simple. There's a part of me that definitely wants to do all of the crazy, but this game took me such a long time to set up. I'm actually feeling guilty for being upstairs filming, and I need to go and be with my family for a bit as well. Yes, so this is good. So let's do the final prompt, which is a theme card. When I haven't got so many plans within a month, then I will probably do some more rolls. But this month, because of the project, because of other bits and pieces I wanted to read, it just made sense to do 4. Okay, shuffly, shuffly, shuffly. Even though they've already been shuffled, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to pick this card here, and it is a person. So it's been a long time since I wrote them. So I'm presuming the theme of a person is maybe having a name in the title or having a picture of a person on the front cover of the book. So I'm going to go and see what I can find. So I was going to come back with a few options. I was thinking maybe middle grade, because there's only one middle grade on the TBR. But I read a lot of middle grade last month, and the following month is middle grade March. So I thought, well, maybe that's okay. And then I came across this book, and then I was just like, actually, this feels like it's time. It feels like it's really going to fit in well with my reading month. And this is a poetry collection. It is Wearing My Mother's Heart by Sophia Thacker. I read Sophia Thacker's first poetry collection, Someone Give This Heart a Pen, and I just loved it. I just felt so compelled to read her poems aloud. I just found them really powerful. They just really spoke to me. This collection is for the women of her family. So you have her grandma, her mother, and her, I presume, sort of on the cover. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. You've got these beautiful women. You've got their heritage that they come from. They're in their national dress. It's vibrant. The colours are beautiful. And I have actually started this previously. It was a long time ago. I love on the back as well, you've got the backs of these women. It's such a cute book, and it has French flaps. It's got French flaps, which is cute. So I've got a little bookmark in here, and I have another bookmark in here. I think I was sectioning it off because originally myself and Kemi from Violet Pages were going to buddy read this, and I then totally forgot, and she reminded me. Then I sent her some bits and pieces of my thoughts on things. Then she was in like a busy place and hadn't, and it just kind of petered out, and it was absolutely fine. But it just meant that I then shelved it and didn't continue reading it. So this is going to be really nice to pick up and read in sections between all the other books, because I want to take my time with it. I want to really enjoy it. I'm not a massive poetry reader at all, but there was just something about the previous book that I really enjoyed, and I'm really excited to pick up this one. And it definitely fits the theme of person on the cover. All the poems are so personal, and we have 3 people on the cover of this book. So there we go. So the TBR game has given me 4 extra books to add to the pile. So we had the dice picking out A Midsummer Night's Dream team, the TBR tin giving me a veteran, let's call it a Doomsday, me choosing continuing a series, which is the Empire of Gold, and the theme card of a person giving me the poetry collection Wearing My Mother's Heart. And that is going to be added to this pile of books that I already have decided I'm reading this month. So it kind of looks like this. No, that's incorrect. Let's turn these books around. Hold on, let's try that again. And it looks like this. So I have got 9 books on my TBR, which is very manageable. I've got 2 short books in here, so I've got the poetry collection and the graphic novel. I've got some larger books, there's some larger fantasy in here. There is also a small middle grade and there's some romance. So it should all balance itself out. I will see. I'm excited. I'm excited to read these books in February. Please let me know if you have any thoughts and opinions on these books, and if you have got any books that you are really excited to be reading in February. I love to see the comments. I love a chat. So if you want to share those, that's amazing. But don't worry, if you have nothing to say, you can always leave a emoji, and let's leave a music note for the poetry collection. Happy reading, everyone.